Okay. So let's start the today's session. In the last session, I have briefed you about what is thermodynamic system, what is surrounding, what is boundary, what is macroscopic and microscopic approach. Then we have seen the types of systems like closed system, open system, isolated system. After that, we have seen the thermodynamic properties. They are basically intensive properties and extensive properties. So let's start this today's session. Okay. In today's session, okay, I will first brief you what is PDV work. Okay, what is PDV work? Okay, so PDV work, it is also known as displacement work. It is also known as displacement work. PDV work, it is also known as displacement work, or it is also known as moving boundary work. Try to understand. It is also known as moving boundary work. So both will have a same meaning. Either you call it as PDV work, or it might be displacement work, or it might be moving boundary work. It's one and same. Okay. So in order to explain this, okay, I will just simply draw a piston and cylinder arrangement. Okay. So let this be the piston. Let this be a cylinder. Okay, and inside a cylinder, let's have okay, this has a piston. So this is basically the piston. Okay, so what you have inside a cylinder is you have some gases which are filled inside a cylinder. Okay, so let's say that the gases are at a pressure P. P is the pressure of the gas. Okay, P is the pressure of the gas. Okay, now see what happens. See, this is basically the cylinder inside which we have a piston. This piston, it is further connected to connecting rod, followed by crankshaft. Try to understand. Followed by crankshaft. So a simple or rough diagram I will draw. Okay, try to understand. See, this is a piston. This is a connecting rod. This is called as crankshaft. In detail, we are going to see this in a gas power cycle. Right? That we are going to see in detail in a gas power cycle. I'm not interested in what is the construction. I'm interested basically in the working. This is cylinder which is having this piston. This piston is connected to connecting rod followed by crankshaft. Right? So now see what happens is when the gases which are present inside a cylinder, they will expand. Okay, when the gases which are present inside a cylinder, when they will expand, these are the gases which are at a pressure P. When they will expand, okay, they will exert some force, right? So what these gases will do, they are at a pressure P. So they will exert a force F. Try to understand. What force they will exert? They will exert the force F. These gases which are at a pressure P, they will exert a force F on the piston. Okay. So if I ask you, what is the force that is being exerted? What is the force that is being exerted by the gas? So you know that pressure is given by force by area. Okay. So force is given by pressure into area. Is that okay? How you will calculate? How you will calculate the force that is exerted by the gas which is at a pressure P? So force it is given by pressure into area. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what happens when this gas which is at a pressure P will exert a force F on the piston? As a result of this, what happens is the piston will displace, right? So piston will displace. So what happens is, okay, due to that pressure, what happens? You will get a new position. Okay, so this piston might be get shifted here. Okay, so this is a new position of the piston. See, this is new position of the piston, right? Initially the piston was here. Now the piston got displaced. Okay, and by what amount the piston got displaced? Let call that displacement of the piston as a dx. I will call the displacement of the piston as dx. Okay, basically you have the gas here, okay, which was having a pressure P. Okay, it will exert a force F on the piston. As a result, the piston get displaced through distance dx. Okay, so initially the piston was here. Now piston has occupied the new position. Okay, now see, if you need to just draw now the position. Now just see, if I just need to draw the position, okay, so I'll just draw it like this. Okay, so this it will come here somewhat like that. So this is how it looks like. Is that okay? I'm just drawing a rough diagram. Okay, so you can see initially the crankshaft was here. Now it has got displaced. It has got displaced through certain angle, right? It has got displaced into certain angle. Is that okay? You can see initially it was like this. Now it is got like this. That means what? The horizontal movement of the piston, that is basically the horizontal displacement of the piston, you're converted into the rotary motion. Is that okay? See, horizontal motion of the piston, you're converted into the rotary motion, right? So why this was happened? Because here some heat was present. So whatever the amount of heat that is been available, with the help with that heat, we have converted into work. Okay, that heat we have converted into work. And who has done that? That is been done by piston cylinder arrangement. So whatever the heat that is being present, it is get converted into work. Obviously, see, whenever there is a displacement, see, if I ask you to write down what is the formula for work, okay, so I will write down the work as del W, because see, what is the small distance? This is a small distance, that is dx. The piston has moved. The piston has moved the small distance dx. So during that small distance dx, okay, we will get small work, and that small work I will call it as del W. And how will calculate the work done? Work done, it's basically the product of force and displacement. Right? Simple formula. When the force is causing some displacement, it gives rise to work, right? So work is basically the product of force that causes the displacement. Force into displacement. Is that okay? Now you might have questions, sir, why you are written that as a del W? Because del W is the small work done when the piston has moved small distance dx. When the piston moved small distance dx. But piston will not move only small distance dx. Okay, the piston will move from this phase to it will move from top dead to bottom dead. Okay, so if I just call this section as top dead center, this section as top dead center, I will just mark here somewhere this as a bottom dead center, right? So you have the piston movement of the piston from here to here. The piston will move. Piston will start moving from this point. It will finally reach to this point. So you have the movement of the piston from top dead to bottom dead. Okay. Now, just for understanding, we have considered a small displacement of the piston, that is dx. Okay. But the piston will going to get displaced, okay, throughout the length of the cylinder. It will displace, okay, through the length of this cylinder. So piston will move like this, right? Okay. Now see, the force is causing displacement, so it gives rise to work, right? Now try to understand this work. It is called small displacement dx. But I am interested to calculate the work when the piston is going to move from top dead to bottom dead, right? I want work when the piston will move from this end to this end. See, this del W, it is only when what? From here to here, right? When the piston will move from here to here, the displacement is, the work done is del W, right? I want what is the work done when piston will move from top dead to bottom dead, right? So basically, in order to do that, I need to integrate it. Okay, but let's do this first. So force, what is the formula for force? It is pressure into area into dx, right? Pressure into area into dx. Now see, what is area into thickness? Obviously, it's a volume, right? Area into thickness, area into some thickness. Is that okay? See, this is the area. Try to understand. Okay, if you see the piston, it is circular, so it will be having circular cross section. That is area. Okay, and dx is the displacement. So when you have area multiplied by thickness, it will give rise to volume. Okay, so I'll write down it as P into dV. Try to understand. This see, force is given by pressure into area. Now area into dx. Now area into dx is given by del W, right? Area into dx is given by dw, right? That is nothing but volume, right? Now I want to get a total work when the piston move from top dead to bottom dead. So how will do that? I will just integrate. Integration of del W is given by integration of PdV, right? See, this procedure you used to do in a mathematics. Okay, numerical integration part. You're considering a smaller string, and that you're going to integrate for entire limits. Same thing I'm doing here, right? So I will do it here. Is that okay? So if I consider the initial position as 1, see, this is the initial position 1. Okay. When force add, the new position is 2. This is the initial position is 1. New position is 2. So I will integrate this for process 1 to 2. I'll integrate it for process 1 to 2. So similarly, I will write down here the limit integration 1 to 2 because I want to integrate it for process 1 to 2, right? So what I will get is, okay, otherwise let's call this top dead as 1, okay, and let's call this as bottom dead as 2. Let's do that. Let's call this top dead as 1 and let's call that bottom end as 2. Okay, so we will integrate this del W. We will integrate this del W for process 1 to 2. Okay, so see, integration of del W, what you will get? It's W1 to 2. Try to understand. This is very important. Del W, when you integrate del W, what you will get? You will get W1 to 2. That is work done during process 1 to 2. Try to understand. I will write it down. Work done during process 1 to 2. Okay, during process 1 to 2. So what amount of work it is done during process 1 to 2? It is W1 to 2. Try to understand. This is W1 to 2. So you will get work done when process is been done. Okay, work done, it is for a process. Okay, so see, the piston initially it was here and now it got shifted to here. So work is been done from this to this process. Okay, so that is the work done that we used to call it as del W. Now we need to calculate it for 1 to 2. So we will integrate del W. So when we will integrate, what we will get? We will get work done for 1 to 2. Okay, that is W1 to 2. And this will remain as it is, that is integration 1 to 2. Is that okay? Have you understood this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Let me know. Have you understood this one?
So what is BDC again?
What is BDC? Okay. See, BDC it is called as bottom dead center. That is the reason I have called. See, bottom dead center. Okay, bottom dead center. PDC it's a top dead center. See, this I will take it. Okay? This I will take it in detail in chapter gas power cycle. Okay, that is the 5th chapter. Okay, that is the reason I'm just briefly explaining you this thing. This chapter, everything that we're going to see in the detail in gas power cycle. So see, because if I just directly write down this formula, you might not be able to understand from where this formula is came. So for that, I explain you the entire derivation. Okay. Have you understood this derivation? What is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, if you can see, if we need to calculate the value of W1 to 2, okay, it is integration of PdV, right? Now see, what is the meaning of this? See, let me plot this process on a PV diagram. This is pressure diagram, this is volume diagram. Okay, this is a pressure scale, this is volume scale. So I will plot this process 1 to 2 on a PV diagram. So see, this is initial point. The initial point is 1. Okay, and from point number 1, you can see there is an expansion. Okay, you can see the piston is moving on a right hand side. So when the piston is moving on a right hand side, what happens? Its volume increases. Is that okay? Are you agree with this? You just see the first diagram where volume was less, and in the second diagram the volume is more. Okay, so see what happens when volume decreases. Sorry, volume increases. Let's take first case. When volume increases, what happens with the pressure? Obviously, it will decrease. Both are inversely proportional. Try to understand. When volume will increase, pressure will decrease. When volume, that I will explain.
प्रेशर कांस्टेंट रहेगा ना सर, क्योंकि इसमें कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऐड नहीं कर रहे हैं।
I will explain. Okay. When what happen is pressure will increase. Pressure will increase, right? Now see how from where it is came. Have you know this law? PV is equal to MRT. This law PV is equal to MRT, right? Is that okay? PV is equal to MRT. That is the reason. See, this I will take it in detail again in this chapter only. PV is equal to MRT. So P is inversely proportional to the V. Is that okay? Are you agree with this one?
Yes, sir.
P and V are inversely proportional. Is that okay? So when pressure increases, volume decreases. When volume decreases, pressure increases, like that. So from here it has came. If you need to see it actually, just see here. See, initial pressure was P1. Initial pressure was P1. Okay, and volume was V1. Initial pressure was P1 and volume was V1. Now what happens? Volume increases. Volume increases. So let this be the point number 2, where we have the value of V2. Yes or no? Volume increase. That means value of V2 is greater than V1. Yes or no? Volume is increase. That's a see, value of V2 is greater than V1. Okay? Is it okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at point number 2, see, when volume is increased, obviously the pressure will decrease. So pressure is P2, right? So see, so from 1 to 2, how will it move? So this is the process. Try to understand. This is the process. Is that okay? So this is the process. Okay. So from 1 to 2, see, we were at initial point 1, but when we reach to point number 2, what happens? The volume got increased. Okay. So value of V2 we got, and value of V2 is greater than V1. So we got this point V2 here. Similarly, if I bring on a vertical axis, I will get P2. Is that okay? So what is this 1 to 2? 1 to 2 is a process, right? 1 to 2 is a process. And what happens, you can see here, the pressure is decreasing and volume is increasing. Pressure decreases, volume increases. Such process, it is called as expansion. Try to understand. Such process, it is called as expansion. When volume increases, pressure decreases, such process, it is called as expansion. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know. Let's take the example of compressor.
Yes,
In compressor, why it is called as compressor? Because it compresses, right? It compresses the air, right? That means it increases the pressure. So in compressor, what happens? The pressure increases, but volume decreases. Is that okay? Yes or no? Reverse process. Reverse of expansion is a compression. Simple example will be a compressor. So in compressor, what happens? So as its name suggests, it basically compresses. That means it increases the pressure. And when pressure increases, obviously volume will decrease. Is that okay? Now see, the purpose to plot this diagram, you can see the formula which I have written. Work done will depends upon P and dV. Work will depends upon P and dV. Okay. So see, if I need to calculate the value of W122 graphically, okay. So if I just calculate the area, I don't understand. If I just calculate the area below the process 122, okay. So this area below the process 122 will give me the value of W122. Try to understand. Okay. So this is how you can calculate W122 by formula. If you need to calculate it graphically, just calculate the area below the process 122. So area below the process 122 will give rise to work done. Why it is so? Because you are plotting the process on a PV diagram. So if you plot any process on a PV diagram, I will repeat the sentence. If you plot any process on a PV diagram, area enclosed by that particular process will give you the work done. Is that okay? Is it okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Let me know. I will repeat. If you plot any process, it might be expansion, it might be compression, it might be heating, it might be cooling, any process you have. But if you plot that process on a PV diagram, and if you calculate area below that process, see 1 to 2 is a process. So if you calculate area below that process, so area below that process will give you the work done. Is that okay now? Is that okay now? Let me know.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it okay or not? Okay. Now, see, if this has been understood, now only I can move to the next point. Okay, I'll just brief you in the last lecture, but I was not able to take that. Okay, so I'll just explain you what is called as path function. Try to understand. Okay, path function. Path function. Try to understand. Okay. Now I will just give you some example. I'll just give a simple example. Okay. Let's consider this PV diagram. Let's consider this PV diagram. Okay. On this PV diagram, let's consider this state number 1, state 1. Okay. Basically, you call it as point 1. Point 1. See, when you can plot point number 1, when you know pressure at point number 1, and when you know volume at point number 1, right? So if the pressure and volume at point number 1 are known, then only you can plot point number 1, and that is basically called as state. That is called as state. Right? Now what I will do, let's say I need to move from point number 1, okay, to point number 2. Okay, usually 2 is what? State, where the pressure is P2, where volume is V2, right? Pressure, see, if you want, I'll just write down here. Here pressure is P1. Okay, here volume is V1. Okay, here pressure is P2, here volume is V2, right? Now I need to move from state number 1 to state number 2. Now I supposed to move it from state number 1 to state number 2. So I can move it like this. Is it okay? Okay, I can move it like this. Is it okay? Can I move it like this? No problem. You can move it like this. Okay. So in such case, okay, let me write down this as A. So our path is 1A2. Our path is 1A2. Okay. And if you just calculate the area below that path, so this is the area which is coming below that path, right? This is the area which is coming below that path. So as I told you just time before, okay. So this area will give me what? Can anybody tell me? This area will give me what?
Work done from 1 to 2.
Right. It will give me the value of work done for 1A2. Okay. It will give me the value of work done for, okay, 1A and 2. Right. Now let me have one more diagram. Okay. Let's have one more diagram. Let's have one more diagram. Again, I will plot. This is a pressure scale. This is a volume scale. Okay. Now I'll just take a same point here. Okay. I'll just take same point here. This is basically point number 1, where I have the pressure P1 and where I have, let's say, volume V1, right? I will just take the same point here on the diagram. Let's say this is point number 2. Okay. Where pressure is P2 and where volume is V2, right? Pressure is P2 and volume is V2, right? Now see, instead of moving like 1A2, can I move it straight? I can do it, na? Yes or no? So I'll move it like straight. Let's say 1B2 I will move. 1B2 I will move. I will move you straight. So see, if I just calculate it, the area below 1B2, okay. So if I calculate the area below 1B2, so this is the area which will come, right? This is the area which will come. Okay, so this is the area which is coming below the process 1B2. Okay. So so tell me, this area will give me what? This area will give me what?
Work done from 1B2.
Right. It will give me the area of work for 1B2. 2, right? It will give me the value of work done for 1B2. Now let me know, okay, what difference you observed between both the diagram which I had drawn. What difference you observed between both the diagram which are drawn?
Linear.
Can tell me? Can anybody tell me? See, I have both the starting point as 1. I have both the starting ending point as 2, right? Point number 1 and point number 2, they are same. Okay? But the path which you have followed is different. Yes or no? Initially you have moved like this. Now you moved like this. So what difference you observed here? Can you tell me?
Path difference.
Slowly.
So you can see, if you see this diagram or see this diagram, okay, the area is different. Yes or no? Here area is coming less. Here area is coming more. What do you mean by that? Work done during this is less, and work done during this is more. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means what? That means what? The work, okay, work transfer, I will call it as work transfer, will depends on path followed. Work transferred will depends upon path followed between initial and final state. Between initial and final state. Right? Therefore, work is called as path function. Try to understand. That's why the work is called as path function. Because work will depends upon what? Path. Work will depends upon path. When you go like this, work is different. When you go like this, work is different. So work will depends upon what? Path. That's why work is called as path function. Is that okay with this one? Is it okay? So see,
No, sir.
yes. You can tell. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir.
You speak nothing. What is the doubt you have? You speak. Is there any doubt?
सर बी का ज्यादा क्यों हो रहा है सर, कम क्यों?
Yes. See, why B is in B case? Why you're getting more work? Process is different.
Hello.
The process is different, right? So now see, let me clear you. See this. What I talk about work. Okay. So similarly, work as well as heat. Try to understand. I will write down here. Work and heat. I will just write down. So work and heat is called as path function. Work as well as heat is called as path function. Now you might feel that, sir, from why the heat is path function? Okay, so let me explain you very simple. On which scale you have plot the diagram? On a PV scale, right? On a PV diagram, you plot the process. Okay. On the similar hand, if you plot the process on a TS diagram, try to understand. Try to understand. When you plot the process on TS diagram, okay. So let me plot the same process on a TS diagram. This is point number 1. Okay, let's say this is point number 2. Point number 1 and point number 2, right? At point number 1, you might have some temperature T1, okay? And at point number 1, you might have some entropy S1, okay? At point number 2, let this be temperature T2, And at this point, let this temperature be S2. See, this I will explain you in a detail in second law of thermodynamics and entropy. That is basically the second module. I will explain this in a detail. Okay, but now you understand only why heat is also the path function. We are more specifically on the path function. So I'll focus on each one, right? So this is point number 1 with T1 and S1. This is point number 2 with T2 and S2, right? T is a temperature and S is the entropy. Temperature and entropy, right? So see, let's say I will move from point number 1, okay, to point number 2. I will move from point number 1 to point number 2. Let's say I will move it like this. So I'll move from point number 1 to point number 2 like this. Okay. So say you will get some area. You will get some area which is lying below that process 1, 2. So let me call this as A. Okay. So the process is 1A2. Okay. And if you just see the area which is coming that process. So this is the area which is coming below the process 1A2. Process 1A2. Okay. Now plot the process on a PV, right? When you plot the process on a PV diagram, it will give you the work. On the similar hand, if you plot the process on a TS diagram, when you plot the process on a TS diagram, it will give you the value of heat. Okay, it will give you the value of heat. So this will give you Q1A2. Try to understand. Because formula for W1 to 2 was integration 1 to 2 PdV. So when you plot it on a PV, it will give you work. Similarly, the formula for heat transfer Q1 to 2 is integration 1 to 2 TdS. From where it is came, I will explain you in the next chapter. This formula, from where it has been came. In today's lecture only I explained you, right? So this formula from where it has came, I will explain you in the next module rather. Now you remember only the formula. Heat transfer, it is given by integration TdS. So if you plot the process on the TS scale, TS temperature entropy scale, okay, the area below that process will give you the heat transfer. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
You are audible. You can speak.
सर मुझे कुछ समझ रहा नहीं है क्योंकि स्क्रीन नहीं शो हो रही है सर मुझे नहीं समझ रहा कुछ स्क्रीन शो नहीं हो रही आपकी
Everybody is able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
You check with your connection, right? Internet connection you check. Everybody is able to see my screen. You should also get, you should be able to see that. Right? There might be some internet issue. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, so let me plot the same process again on a TS scale. This is T, this is S. Okay, let me write down. I will just copy the same. I'll just copy the same. Let this be point number 1. Let this be point number 1. And let this be point number 2. Let this be point number 2. Okay, where here temperature is T1. Okay, and here entropy is S1. Here temperature is 2, and here entropy is S2. Right? Now let's move from 1 to 2 like this. Okay, and let the process be 1B2, right? Now what you will get? So this is the area which is coming below 1B2. Okay, so let me call this as Q. Let me call this as Q heat transfer during 1B2. Is that okay? Yes or no? Let me clear. Is that okay or not? Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now same like heat transfer. What happens? See here, heat transfer is different. See here, area is different. Here, area is different. That means what? Area is different means what? Your heat transfer is different. Because when you plot it on a PV, it will give you the work. When you plot it on a TS, it will give you the heat, right? When you plot it on a TS, it will give you the heat. So what I need to convey here is heat transfer, okay? Heat transfer will depends on path followed. Okay, so heat transfer will depends upon what? Path followed between initial and final state. Between initial and final state. Because when you move it like 1A2, you have different value of heat transfer. When you move it like 1B2, you have different value of heat transfer. So heat transfer will depends upon path which you have followed while moving from initial to final, right? So therefore, heat is called as what? Path function. Is that okay? Is that okay? So if you want, I will just write down one more time. Therefore, heat is also called path function. Is that okay? So heat is also called as path. Is it clear? Is it clear to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Is it okay with this one? Is it okay with this one or not? Let me know. All of you. Is it okay with this
Yes,
one?
sir. Yes, yes.
Okay. So let us move to the next point. Let us move to the next point, and that is called as point function. Try to understand. This is very important. Okay. That is called as point function. That is called as point function. Now try to understand. Simple example I will give. What is point function? Okay. So let's consider the diagram. I will just draw the same diagram again. Okay. So let's consider this pressure scale. Let's consider these are the volume scale. Okay. Let's take these are the point number 1. Okay. That is basically straight one, where we have some value of pressure. Let be that value be P1. Okay. Where we have certain value of volume. Let that volume be V1. Let's consider one point that is basically the point number 2, when we have volume as V2, and let's have that pressure as P2. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay with this one? Okay. So let's see that. I need to move from state 1 to state 2 now. I need to move from state 1 to state 2. Okay. So see, for moving from state 1 to state 2, right? For moving from state 1 to state 2, can I move it like this? Okay. I'll just simply move it like this. I'll just simply move it like this, right? So this is a one method which you can call it as. I will move it like this. Okay, so let this be A. Okay, let this be A. Let this be A. Just a minute. Okay. Now, similarly, can I move it like this? I'll just move it like this now. Okay. Now I will move it like this. So let this be B. Okay, I can move it like this. Okay, this is one method. I will move it like one. First I move it like 1A2, then I move it like 1B2. Okay, and I will take one more. Let's say I will move it like this. Let this be C. Okay, so see, for moving from state 1 to state 2, I can move it in any manner. Is that okay? Is it okay? Yes or no? I need to just move from state 1 to state 2. So in any manner I can move. I can move it like 1A2, 1B2, 1C2. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question is, when you move from 1 to 2 through path A, or when you move from 1 to 2 through path B, or when you move from 1 to 2 through path C, whether P2 is going to change or V2 is going to change, whether anything is going to change, whether value of P2 and V2 will depends upon the path like A, B, and C. Is it a case? My question to you.
No, sir.
Whether
The work will
value of
change.
P2 and V2, whether value of P2, that is value of P2 and V2 will depends upon the path like A, B, or C. Is it a case?
No, sir.
No, right? See, whether you move from point number 1 to 2 through path A or through path B or through path C, you're going to reach it to same point. You're going to reach to same point, that is P2, V2. That means value of P2 and V2, they will not depend upon path, right? They will not depend upon path. Like value of P2 and V2, it doesn't depends upon path. Whether you go through path A or path B or path C, you're going to reach it to same point. That is point number 2. Okay. So such types of terms like pressure, volume, temperature, enthalpy, entropy, specific volume, such terms are called as point functions. Okay. So I will just simply write down the terms like all, see, I'll just write down it in detail. All thermodynamic properties, all thermodynamic properties are point functions. All thermodynamic properties are point functions. Understood? So which are the thermodynamic properties? Which are those thermodynamic properties? So those thermodynamic properties are pressure, volume, temperature, enthalpy, entropy, internal energy. Try to understand. So all these thermodynamic properties are point function. Is that okay? Here only I told you only about pressure and volume. So similar thing is applicable for temperature, enthalpy, entropy, and internal energy. Is that okay? Is it okay with this one? Let me know. Is it okay with this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, so all thermodynamic properties are called as point function, because see, value of P2 and V2, value of pressure at point number 2 or volume at point number 2, it doesn't depends. It doesn't depends upon which path you have followed, right? It doesn't depends upon which path you have followed, right? Value of pressure, that is P2, and volume, that is V2, it doesn't depends upon which path you are following. Okay, that's why the properties like pressure, volume, similarly temperature, enthalpy, entropy, internal energy, all such properties are called as, they're called as what? Point function. What do you mean by point function? They will only depends upon initial and final state. They will not depend upon path. They will not depend upon path. Okay. Now my simple question to you is, okay, when you move from 1 to 2 and again 2 to 1, okay, if you want, I will just draw a simple diagram. Let's consider this is a pressure scale. Okay, let's consider this as a pressure scale, this as a volume scale. Let's consider these are the pressure and these are the volume scale. Let's see that this is point number 1, right? Let's see that this is point number 2. We'll move from point number 1 to 2 like this, right? Now again we will revert back from point number 2 to 1 like this. Let this be A and let this be B. Okay, so we will move from 1 to 2 through path A, and we will move from point number 2 to 1 through path B. Okay, so here we have P1. See, I'll just write down that this is P1. Okay, here we have some value of V1. Here we have P2, and here it is V2. Is that okay? Now my question is, what is the change in pressure? Okay, my question is, what is change in pressure during 1A, 2B, and 1? What is the change in pressure during 1A, B1? Can anybody tell me? What is the change in pressure during 1A, 2, B, and 1? When the system is going to start from point number 1, and when it again return to point number 1, then what is change in pressure? Have you got my question?
Yes, sir.
Have you got my question? Yeah.
In
Yes.
total, there is no change, sir.
Yes, exactly. See, why it is so? When you move from 1 to 2, the pressure got decreased from P1 to P2. Okay, so pressure has decreased from P1 to P2. So decrease in the pressure was P1 minus P2, right? The decrease in the pressure was P1 minus P2. When you move from 1 to 2, try to understand. So change in pressure, it is given by change in pressure, I will write down, during 1A2 plus change in pressure during 2B1. Try to understand. It is change in pressure during 1A2 plus change in pressure during 2B1, right? Because see, if you need to move from 1 to and again to 1, you need to follow the path 1A2 and 2B1, right? So what is the change in pressure during 1A2? So during 1A2, the pressure got dropped from P1 to P2. So change in pressure was P1 minus P2. Change in pressure was P1 minus P2 plus what is change in pressure from 2B1? What is the change in pressure from 2B1? Okay. Okay. It got what? It got increased now. It got increased. It got increased now. See, if you want to take it like this, P2 minus P1, right? Final minus initial, no problem. P2 minus P1, that is change in pressure. P2 minus P1, okay? That is final minus initial. And here what you will write down? Again, for 2B1, we will write down this as P1 minus P2. Is that okay? P1 minus P2. Again, final minus initial. You can see for 1 to 2, 2 was the final, 1 was the initial. So it is P2 minus P1, right? P2 minus P1. But when you move from 2 to 1, okay, when you move from 2 to 1, so 1 is the final and 2 is the initial. So 1 minus 2, right? So if you just take the addition of that, what you are getting here? What addition you are getting? Change in pressure. You'll get its value as 0, as somebody has said, nah? As somebody has said, right? What value you are getting? You are getting that value as. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay to all of you? Right? Is it okay? Is it
Yes,
understood to each of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, this is about what is change in pressure. When you move from 1 to 2, change in pressure is P2 minus P1. When you move from 2 to 1, change in pressure was P1 minus P2. We always used to take final minus initial. So when we move from 1 to 2, it was P2 minus P1. When you move from 2 to 1, it was P1 minus P2. So our addition, if you add it, it is 0. See, what is the meaning of that? See, 1A2 and 2B1. See, 1A2 and 2B1, it is a cycle. I don't understand. It is called as a cycle. Why it is cycle? Because your final state is same as initial state. You started from point number 1 and again you return to point number 1. Okay. So when the starting point and end point, they are same, it's called as a cycle, right? So it is a cycle. So whenever any system executes a cycle, cyclic integral of volume is 0, cyclic integral of pressure is 0, cyclic integral of temperature is 0. Okay, so basically cyclic integral of thermodynamic properties is 0. See what is done, what is dV? Change in volume. Change in volume for us. What do you mean by this integration and cycle? Try to understand. This circle stands for cycle, and integration integration it stands for what? For that particular cycle, we need to add the processes. Okay, so dV is the change in volume that we need to calculate for every process of the cycle. So 1A, 2B1, this was a cycle. Within that cycle, 1A2 and 2B1, they were two processes. Okay. See, 1A, 2B1, this is a cycle. So for this cycle, we have two processes, that is 1A2 and 2B1. Okay, so we will calculate the change in volume or change in pressure for change in temperature for every process of the cycle. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this, what is written. Okay, change in volume is 0, change in pressure is 0, change in temperature is 0. In simple, okay, in simple, if you want to write down, I will just simply write down cyclic integral of d, okay, dP, change in pressure, or dV, or dt. I don't understand. Huh? P, cyclic integral of dP, or instead of P, you can put V, or you can put T, or you can put enthalpy, or you can put entropy, or you can put internal energy. It is equal to what? 0. Is that okay or not? Is it okay? So cyclic integral of pressure or volume or temperature or enthalpy of, or entropy or internal energy, it is equal to 0 because all are thermodynamic properties. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Let me know. Is
Yes,
it okay?
sir.
Have you understood this one? Each of you? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we will do is today we are going to stop the session, and in the next session, okay, I will brief you about the thermodynamic equilibrium, what is quasi-static process, or what is thermodynamic work, okay, then difference between heat and work. Those things we will see in the next lecture. So today we will stop, and in the next lecture we will continue the rest of the things. Now you can stop the recording.